Welcome, everybody. It's that time again. It's Monday, June 14th, and it's time for the Monday night iBUG Buzz. My name is Brad Snyder, and along with my co-host, Sandhya Rao, we are here to help out everyone with iOS questions and hopefully some answers. The iBUG Buzz is an open forum where we discuss all things iOS. That includes devices such as your iPhones, your iPads, the Apple Watch, Apple TV, maybe even the HomePod. We talk about apps and all kinds of related things. This call is being recorded and will be posted on the iBUG website, ibugtoday.org. It's also available on the Sight into Sound website in a format. And we are also available as a podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast. That's on your podcast player of choice or the smart devices by asking your smart device to play the iBUG Buzz podcast. Let's see, since this is being recorded, we ask that everybody stay on mute unless you're speaking. That helps us get as clean a recording as possible. For that, we want to remind you how to mute and unmute. If you're on an iPhone, you will find the mute button in the lower left corner of your Zoom app screen. If you're on an iPad, it's in the top, just a little bit to the right of center, top of the right top part of your screen, just a little to the right of center. There you go, twice. If you're on a Mac computer, it is Command Shift A will mute and unmute. And if you're on a Windows computer, it is Alt A. Let's see. What am I forgetting? If you're on a phone, it's *6 will mute and unmute if you're joining us by a regular phone call. God, there's got to be something else. Help me out, Sandhya. Am I forgetting anything?
Don't use the hand raising.
Oh yeah, we thank you. I should know that. We don't, if you would like to speak, we do not use the raise hand feature here on iBUG. What we ask is that you state your name and wait to be acknowledged by the host. And we try to maintain order as best we can that way. I think that's it. So how about we do some announcements? Is the iBUG guy here to do our announcements? Michael?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
All right, take it away.
Thank you, Brad. All right. This week in iBUG, we've got a packed week here starting tomorrow, Tuesday, June 15th at 5 p.m. Central. We'll be on Clubhouse. All of you that are on Clubhouse, you can join us there, or if you're not on Clubhouse, we've put a link on our Facebook page that'll get you joined and signed into the meeting there. It's actually the iBUG mini buzz, kind of a shortened version of what we're doing here tonight. Then on Tuesday, or no, that's Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we have our iBUG Android Insight. For those that want to wander over into the Android world, like I just did a few weeks ago. And at 7 p.m. Central, everything related to the Android world. It's an open Q&A help session for any of the Android phones, smartphones, tablets, any of the Android devices, based devices, like any of the Amazon products, Echoes, that sort of thing, smart TVs. And so you can get questions answered there about all of that. Then Thursday, for our Trekkies, we have Trekkie Talk. We are finishing up season 1 with the last 3 episodes of season 1 and of the Discovery series. Oh, I didn't silence my phone. All right, and then that's at 8 p.m. Central Time. And by the way, other than the clubhouse, all of these are on this very same Zoom line. Then Friday night, our iBug night at the virtual movies. We've got a good movie coming up for this week, and stick around to the halftime show and find out what the movie will be. That is at 8 p.m. You can join in for the social time, pre-social time, pre-movie social time at 7:30 p.m. And we'd like for you to stick around after the movie to have a short discussion and learn some trivia about the movie. Then on Saturday, we have a birthday party. Oh, no, that's my personal calendar. Never mind, scratch that. There's no iBug birthday party. All right, so that's what's going on this coming week. And we will turn, oh, no, let me tell you about how to keep in touch with us. Brad already mentioned our website, ibugtoday.org. All the recordings can be found there. You can find out information if you're interested in some one-on-one training, a beginner with the iPhone. You can get information about all of the upcoming meetings, not just the ones I mentioned, but others going on during the rest of the month. So it's a good place to find all that. And then you can follow us on Twitter. We have a Twitter account, and our handle there is at iBug Today. In between these Monday night sessions, if you questions come up or you have issues, you can always post them on our Facebook groups page. That's facebook.com/groups/iBug Today. Good place to get those questions answered. As Brad mentioned, the recordings are available on the website. They are available via, well, this Monday night one is via a podcast. And also all of our training sessions recorded are also now available on our iBug Today YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to and follow or get the recordings that way too. So those are the ways to keep up with us. And I'm going to turn it back over to Brad now.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you getting us all up to speed there. Now, what we like to do here at iBug is let's take a trip around the room and give everybody a chance to introduce yourself, say hi, tell us where you're from. If you're new to iBug or iBug Buzz especially, we'd like to hear about it. And we'd like to hear how you found out about us. So let's get things started. My name is Brad, and I'm in Dallas.
Elisa and Porter.
Susan Sumler from Houston.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Hello, this is Ibrahim in Boston, Massachusetts.
All right.
This is Dan from San Diego.
Hey, Dan.
Kathy from Tulsa.
Kathy.
Rose from Philadelphia.
Chanel in Houston.
Chanel.
Thomas in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Hey, Tom.
Ned from Kyle, Texas,
Ned, all the way from Kyle.
just down the road from you.
That's right.
Billy from Houston.
Hey, Billy.
Dana in Dallas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's not right.
Just north of Kyle.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is Stephen, just north of Kyle.
All right.
And Michael, once again, south of Kyle.
Sandhya, south of Kyle.
What is this with Kyle?
We like Kyle.
I like Kyle too. All right.
What a nice
okay,
rest
go ahead.
area.
Even Houston, in Missouri City.
All righty. Thank you.
Jim in Pennsylvania. And you know what they all say about Kyle's mom.
Oh,
Stop. Okay,
I
keep
don't
going.
wanna
Anybody
know.
else?
Where's the army boots?
all right.
Donna from
There's Donna. Okay.
Jim from Durham, North Carolina.
There's
All right, Jim.
Linda from Humble.
Hey, Linda.
Roy from Fort Worth.
Hey, Roy.
No, you have to watch South Park to know what they sing about Kyle's mom, what kind of person she is.
hang on, keep going.
We
Anybody else?
digress.
Okay. All right.
This is Shree from the real Kyle, Springfield, Virginia.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you, Sri.
Hi. This is Carol from San Antonio.
Hi.
Hi.
We got anybody else? All right. Well, if that's anybody, do we have anybody new joining us tonight? If we do, we usually like to kick off the get together with questions or comments from
Thomas from Grand
any new
Junction.
users. Yes, Thomas. know
This
you-
is my first iBuzz deal. I mean, I've been to the mini buzz, but I've never been to the Monday buzz. So
Well, welcome to the big show.
thank you. Thank you.
What kind of devices are you sporting?
I use an iPad, an iPhone, and I do have a question about the iWatch, the watch.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead. Let's get us
is there
started
a-
with that.
Yeah. Is there a way to change the typing modes so that like when I type in my code, I have to double tap the number? I know on the phone you can do touch typing, direct touch typing, that sort of thing. Is there a way to change that on the watch?
Who's familiar with typing on the watch? Can help out Thomas with his watch typing question.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
I am not aware because I'm double tapping to put my passcode. So if there is, I'd like to know.
Yeah, I was going to say I've had one since the first watch Series 0, and I'm not aware of another typing mode on the watch.
Elisa?
Go ahead, Elisa.
I don't think there is because I'm just double tapping to put my stuff in as well.
Yeah, I think standard typing is the only way to go on the watch.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's touch typing.
Thomas in Colorado. Well, thanks for the answer. Yeah, I was just wondering,
right.
and hopefully they'll fix that in later updates. So, because if you want to use the face mask feature, you have to set a passcode on your watch. So,
Yes, you do. But you can also set if you go into the watch app on your iPhone, one of the things you can do is set it so that when your watch is on your wrist and you unlock your phone, it will automatically unlock your watch. And you will not, I'm not going to say you'll never have to type it in. Time to time, it might ask you to do it for unknown reasons. But usually you won't ever have to type in your passcode on the watch if you've got that feature turned on.
Thomas in Colorado, thanks so much. Yeah, because I'm having to type it in every day. So,
Yeah, go into the watch app. It's very similar to the settings app on your iPhone. Just scroll down.
I've gone through it.
You
So,
found
yep.
it. Yeah, it's
Yep.
in there. You can turn it on.
So, cool.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Well, let's see. Thomas got us going. Who's got another question for us?
Elisa?
Hey, Lisa, go ahead.
So now that our iBUG is on YouTube, do you have to have an account to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube?
That's a good question. Who can
This is Herbie.
help? Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So the
Figured
answer
you'd
is no, you don't have to. But if you do have an account, then you can get notifications whenever a video is uploaded. So, like for instance, this morning I got immediately notified when the iBug Cafe was uploaded, and of course I was able to tweet that direct link out to Twitter. And now I have noticed though that some videos YouTube may not like, and for my on other channels that it may require an account for, but the iBug ones generally probably should not. But if YouTube does anything weird, like say this video is age restricted, then for those videos you do actually have to have an account to watch. But otherwise, no, you don't. But if you do have an account, then it's a lot easier to subscribe to the channel and get notified whenever the video is uploaded.
This is Steven.
Yes, Steven.
I'm just curious about the video. Since it's now being done on video, what is actually being shown with the
This is
audio
Herbie.
portion?
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So the only time anybody will see anything, if anybody actually has their video turned on, that would come out in the video recording. But otherwise, it's just, if you have your video off, then people are not going to see you. It's just capturing the audio, but video YouTube requires a video format for it to be uploaded.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So just think of the video as a file format, but you can choose whether you have your camera on or not. And
Right.
and that won't affect just the video file, but any visual users on Zoom as well, whether they see you or not. So, and you can always see in that main screen if your video is on or off. And if you want your video off, you can adjust it in settings regardless of phone or computer app.
Correct. Well, that's really cool that we're on YouTube. I'm really excited about that.
Michael?
Yeah, Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna add to that. In addition, even though you have your camera off, your avatar is displaying. So the person speaking, and usually there's some, your name or whatever you've signed in to the Zoom call as will also show up, as as that person is speaking. A sighted person would be able to, see that and see the speakers switch out and that kind of thing.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael. Okay.
Susan?
Who'd like, say it again?
Susan?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, good evening. I have a question about, I use my iPad all the time for group meetings, Sunday school class, things like that. And I have a question about muting and unmuting. I like using the 2-finger double tap. It's very easy and faster than the other ways. And I'm just wondering, say like on your end or anybody else's end, or Sandhya's, can y'all hear when it says unmuted? Now me and someone the other day tested it out in his Zoom room, which was only the two of us, and he said he could hear the speech saying unmuted, but can't hear it when I mute. And I told him, well, I've never been told from anyone, not from iBUG or Sunday school class, that they hear anything like that. So I'm puzzled about that. Now, yesterday evening, and I think Sandhya, you were having some voice problems or something. I don't know, I guess on your Mac or whatever you use. And, everybody could hear it say muted, unmute, which was the first time I ever heard that. So anyway, is it true about people hearing that unmuted?
How about, this is Brad, how about right now, you try it. Why don't you're unmuted right now. Why don't you do the double tap and mute and then give it a second or two and then unmute yourself and let's all see if we can hear it.
Okay, here she goes. Okay, I'm unmuted. Did anybody hear?
Okay, this is Brad, and I heard you tap the screen. I heard the sound of your double tap on the screen. I heard no voiceover. And then when you came back, I heard nothing but you. I could tell you unmuted, and then I heard you speak. So I didn't hear anything. I don't think anybody else on this call did.
Okay, that's good. And that's good to know.
Keith.
So
yes, go ahead. Hang on, Keith.
So
go ahead,
Susan,
Keith.
are you using headphones? Typically, if you're using headphones, nobody else will be able to hear your voiceover. But if you're not using headphones, then of course the voiceover can bleed into the speaker or the microphone on the speaker.
Yeah, can pick it up.
So far, no one's heard it except a friend of mine, but I'm thinking it's just because it was only two of us in his room.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my theory, but no one else from Sunday school has, or else they would have commented about it. And I've been doing it this way for a very long time on the iBUG meetings and stuff like that. And nobody has said anything, but I would think even swiping on the iPad, I swipe down below with I call it the bar, where it says leave, mute my audio. Sometimes I'll use that, but you still have to double tap to mute, double tap to unmute. So I'm assuming it would be the same thing. You would probably hear
This is Ibrahim.
the tapping,
Probably.
but not the
Probably.
voiceover, I assume.
All right, go ahead, Ibrahim.
I don't know what's going on, but the last couple of times I tried to mute and unmute with the magic tap or double tap. It worked for me since the last Zoom update on the iPad and iPhone.
Well, good. It does work for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
good. Good.
It's been working long before the update. I've been using it for several months. I like the 2-finger double tap, but I guess no matter how you mute yourself, even if you go down below and swipe till it says mute or unmute it, unmute. I can't talk. Naturally, you're going to hear the tap sound like you said, but you didn't hear the voiceover. So as long as, to me, that's the important part. The tapping's not going to kill anybody.
True. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you have headphones in, it will not pick up your voiceover, but it will pick up the sound of you tapping the phone until it is muted. That's all that is.
Yeah, and that's no big deal.
This
And
is
then one more thing real fast too. Yesterday, for the first time in my Sunday school class, we used Zoom. I was asked to mute 2 times. I mean, after I asked a question or comment or something, because there was an echo on their end. That's never happened before, but is there something that I can do if for some reason my iPad's giving them an echo? Because I don't know that one. My echo just made me lose my train of thought. Because I don't use a microphone. I use, what's built into the iPad.
Right. And that's usually okay if you're sitting right there.
Yeah.
Anybody got any suggestions for her, Susan, to figure out how to get rid of this echo sound?
This is Herbie.
It's
Herbie,
Ibrahim.
go ahead. Hang on.
wait a
Let's let
minute,
Herbie go.
so-
This is Jim.
Hold on. Oh, okay.
Let's go with Herbie.
So, are you wearing headphones at all? I bet I got lost on that part. If you're using headphones or just the speaker.
I'm just using the iPad speakers. It's on the iPad.
That is the problem. So what happens, and maybe I'll try to explain this as best I can. So when you're on most voice over IP apps, including FaceTime and even the regular phone call, when you're on speakerphone, it's trying to eliminate feedback. And so what happens is it's kind of warring. It's kind of going between, the microphone will not always be activated. So when you talk, then the mic suddenly activates. And when you don't talk, it tries to go away and, it turns off. And so it's kind of canceling each other out. And it creates some interesting side effects, because during this transition, what can happen is the microphone can be hearing the earpiece, and so it hears the earpiece and it hears something like your voice echoing through the earpiece or whatever, and so it's reflecting that back to the earpiece from the microphone, the speaker to the microphone.
Right. So is that because their some uses their iPhone, some uses their iPad?
So, and additionally, yes, if people have their phones unmuted, then if your voice can reflect off of somebody's speaker and come to their microphone. And so the best way you can do it is the iBUG method, really, is have everybody muted unless they're talking, and use headphones whenever possible.
Yeah, I may have to start using the headphones. I used that Friday at that Lighthouse support group meeting on GoToMeeting instead of Zoom. But I like just doing it this way because I get up and down a lot. And, when you're stuck with headphones, well, you're stuck because of the wire. So
Okay.
anyway, that was just a one thing thing yesterday about that. So I just wanted to ask about that.
Right.
And thanks for answering the voiceover question, the first one. Thank you, y'all.
All right. Let's see. Ibrahim, did you have anything? And then you had Jim in there too. Do you have?
Oh, I was just going to jump in on the last question.
Well, hang on. I think Ibrahim, last call.
Somebody asking for me?
Yeah, I thought you had spoke up. I didn't know if you had anything you
I
wanted
was just gonna suggest that you turn on original sound in Zoom settings. I found that helps a lot.
Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead, Jim.
Oh, I was just going to chime in on the last question, on Suzanne's question, and recommend that if she could use headphones with microphone, that way she could just mute and unmute, and the only one that would really know for sure would be her, because then they wouldn't pick up the voiceover. So that was going to be my suggestion. That's all.
Well, thank you.
This is Sri.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Sri.
I just want to make a quick comment about the double tap. If you are using your phone and you didn't select Wi-Fi or cellular and you took the phone line option, most likely if you double tap, it's probably going to disconnect the call.
Yeah,
Right.
I
believe
just
she was
used the
talking about the
iPad.
Zoom app.
Yeah, I don't even use the app. I have the link copied and pasted in my contacts. But I only use the iPad for all this stuff. I'm an iPad lover. So, but anyway,
Okay.
thanks again.
This is
All
Roy.
right. Yes, go ahead, Roy.
I just wanted to share, if you're using an iPad with a keyboard, you can do VO dash, and that's the same thing as a magic tap, which will unmute or mute when you're in Zoom.
That's good to know. Thank you. All right.
Did you say VO dash mutes and unmutes?
No,
Yeah,
he said
it
VO.
does.
It's the same as
will work.
VO dash. You said
It's
the
the
same
same as
thing
the
as a
magic
magic tap.
tap.
Wait, yeah, both of y'all talking. It's VO dash, VO dash mutes and unmutes.
Yes, it's the same
Okay.
thing as a magic tap with your keyboard.
I see. Okay, and then I also heard about just using the space bar on the keyboard, and that mutes and unmutes.
Yes.
Roy, I think that's if you keep it held down. Isn't that correct, Brad?
Correct. Yeah, and I know that works on
This is Eva.
a computer, Windows or Mac. I'm not 100% sure about iOS. Go ahead, Eva.
Okay.
The space bar, I thought that was just a Windows thing.
It works on a Mac too. I know that.
okay.
'Cause that's what I use all the time. But I'm not sure about iOS. And yes, it's like keying a mic. You hold it down, you're unmuted, you let go, you're muted. And of course you have to be done your keyboard command to mute yourself before that will work. And then there's another setting, but I believe it's that checkbox is on by default. There was somebody else in there. I didn't.
Yeah, one fast thing, and then
I
I'll
think
end
we need
this.
to move
You
on,
said,
y'all.
Okay.
he said something. I just want to ask real fast. What was that first? You have to set for muted on the
You have
keyboard.
to mute.
before
You have
you
to
can-
mute. You have to be muted, and then when you're muted, you can press the space bar to unmute. Let go of the space bar, and then you're muted again. So you
Okay,
press
I
the space
understand.
bar when you want to talk and then let go of it. There is a setting for that, but I believe it's set by default that it will do that.
Okay.
And I do not have experience doing this with iOS,
Okay.
iPhone or iPad, but I use it on my Mac and I've done it on Windows before as well. Okay, now hang on. There was someone else, I believe, that was trying to get in there.
Yeah, Sonia was just wanting
Sonia?
wanting to get moving, but anyway.
Okay, yes, we do need to move on. We've spent
Yeah.
plenty of time.
Well, yeah, y'all
If we-
do that. Lots
As long
of
as we
others, but
got
thanks.
you taken care of, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Okay, who's got another question?
This is Eva.
Yes, Eva.
I've been trying to figure out how do you on the Apple TV, how do you mute? I'm thinking mute. How do you erase apps?
You mean delete an app?
Yeah.
Who can help Eva out with her Apple TV? I don't
Totally
use
forgot.
one. Anybody got experience using an Apple? Yeah, you're talking about the set-top box, Apple TV, correct?
Mm-hmm. And it's the one with
Anybody
the touch
using an
remote.
Apple TV knows how to delete apps from your Apple TV? Wow. Nobody.
This is Sandhya.
Okay, Sandhya.
I have one, but I've never done it, Eva, so I'm no help. So sorry, I should just be quiet. So thank you.
Okay, looks like I'm not the only one that's stumped there.
Well,
All right, that'll
we'll
be
see what we
we'll put
can
it on
do
the table
about-
for next week.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do about looking this up, and hopefully we'll
This
be
is
able to come
Herbie.
up. Herbie, go ahead.
So I don't know exactly how to use one. I know it works a lot like other Apple devices, but what I was going to recommend, if you have him on your Facebook, Kenny, our iBUG Kenny, I know is an avid user of Apple TV, Amazon TV, all that. And so he might be a great resource to tap into and ask your questions.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you.
Okay. Well, sorry we weren't able to answer that, but I think we'll come up with
To
an answer
Ibrahim?
for you eventually. Go ahead, Ibrahim. You got an Apple TV?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I was trying to reset a password for a account, and I'm getting a strange message from the company telling me like bad. It said like something like bad password reset or bad server reset. So I'm wondering, is maybe they're having a problem with the servers, or they're just not accepting my email? So I'm just curious about that.
It sounds to me, this is Brad. That sounds to me like an issue with, you said your email?
But I put in an email. I know it works because I'm getting
Right.
emails from the company with it. But when I go to reset the password, it tells me like, "Oops, our server is down" or something like that.
Yeah, that
Not
sounds like
exactly. It says more like, "Oops, password, bad request server." Basically,
Yeah,
is
that
what
sounds
I'm
like an
remembering.
issue with your email provider.
Okay.
I would give their tech support a call.
For Gmail or Google.
Well, well, if it's Gmail, there's nobody to call. I don't know.
Okay.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Sri.
Abraham, is it your ISP email, or is this a company a service that you have with a particular company's email?
This is meetup.com. I'm trying to reset my password for it.
Okay.
With the Gmail account.
It sounds like that you're having a connection issue with that vendor, is what it sounds like to me. Maybe the URL that it's sending doesn't seem to be accurate or correct, is my guess.
You mean the app could be down because I'm doing this inside the app?
Could be.
Okay.
It could be. Also, I just want to say that spacebar on using the keyboard didn't work. I tried it right now
On iOS?
on my iPad.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. Interesting. I'll have to look into that myself. I'm not sure about that. Okay, thank you, Sri. Who'd like to go next? Who's got another question for us?
This is Dan.
Yes, Dan.
Okay, I have a question. This is concerning Seeing AI, the app. There was an update, little message came out that said we now have World Channel, and I thought, well, that's great, but it's not in my menu. And I checked on this group's IO group, and somebody else said the same thing, that they couldn't find World Channel. And I did a little search and I couldn't find anything about it either. So I'm wondering if anybody on here has Seeing AI, and if you do you have World Channel? And you could tell me what it is. I'd just like to know. And apparently it has something to do with LiDAR. So I'm just curious what this World Channel business is all about with Seeing AI.
What kind of device do you have, Dan?
Beg your pardon?
What kind of device do you have?
Oh, I'm iPhone 8 Plus.
Okay, there you go.
This is
Sri,
Sri.
go ahead.
So basically what it is the World Preview only works if you have a phone with a LiDAR sensor. And basically what it does is it uses the LiDAR to give you near directions or distances, I should say. And basically what the World Preview will do, when we did a demo of this, it's in one of our podcasts a few months ago, but basically what it'll do is if you pan the room, it will detect objects and it'll tell you how far each of those objects are in relation to where you are. And there is a proximity where it'll get a vibration to let you know that you are close to an object. And you can also put a beacon on an object and it'll give you a step-by-step direction to reach that object. That's kind of like the high level of what the World Preview will do.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So also to answer your question, Dan, so I have an iPhone 12 Pro and I definitely see the world channel in my Seeing AI. And I think this just goes to show that, so this is going to be, the iPhone 12s are currently the only model that have LiDAR. So if you have an 11 or if you have the SE models, you're not going to be able to make use of this. But I think it really goes to show that
Pro.
if you want to take advantage of some of the advanced features of the phone, you're going to have to really think about what you are purchasing. And if you want a small phone, for instance, okay, if you want to be able to make use of LiDAR, an iPhone 12 mini might be a better purchase, for instance, than an SE 2020 because it's still going to have. Actually, did the mini? I take that
This is
back.
Sheree.
I think only the
Go
Pro
ahead,
and the Pro
Sheree.
Max have the LiDAR. Never mind, I misspoke.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to say it's right now it's only the 12 Pro and
Right.
the Pro Max.
That may change.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if the iPad Pros that have the LiDAR comes with World Preview. That I haven't verified. But I just know right now, I know for sure that the Pro on the phones work with the World Preview.
Yeah, there is. I have heard talk that it may come to more models with starting with the 13, but that is just speculation. So,
and just so you know that any phone that doesn't have it won't. That particular channel won't be displayed on the device. That's why you don't see it.
Okay, very good. Got it. Now you mentioned a podcast. Can you tell me where this podcast or what it's called? And I'd like to listen to it.
What podcast?
This is Herbie.
Sandhya? Yeah, I think it was. This is Sandhya.
Yes.
I think
Go
it
ahead,
was
Sonia.
from February, if I remember correctly.
The iBUG.
It was the iBUG Cafe where we talked about various, indoor navigation. I'm pretty sure it's
And
February.
if it's a cafe, it was not a podcast. You can find it on the ibugtoday.org website.
This is Shree.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Shree.
And it is available on the YouTube channel.
Ah, there you go.
Okay, but this is concerning indoor navigation, right? It has nothing to do with LiDAR. Is that correct?
Yes, there was an iBug cafe on using LiDAR. Go ahead, Shree.
No, you got it right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll look it up on the YouTube channel. Well, thank you very much, you guys.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Okay, who'd like to go next? Who hasn't had a chance to?
This is Billy.
Yes, sir, Billy.
I just bought a new toy. I got a HomePod Mini.
Yes.
And just trying to figure out what the commands are. Like, I had a question like, can it read your email or can it send text messages?
Who can help Billy out with a HomePod Mini question? Answer, actually. Ooh, we got any
This is
HomePod Mini
Herbie.
users? I know we got some out there.
This is Herbie.
Herbie.
All right. So I don't think it can do email, but I want to say it should be able to do texts just the way you would through Siri.
Oh, okay.
The HomePod. I'm not for 100% sure if it can do texts. It is a little bit more. It's not as fancy as your Alexa and Google Home devices. It's really meant. Apple designed it more for music with some other functionality built in.
Yeah.
With AirPlay, some Siri stuff.
Yeah,
And, Yeah, so just
Okay.
but you could probably I would use Siri commands with anything that you're unsure if it can do, and it'll tell you if it cannot, believe me.
Okay. I use it mainly for music and Apple Music and all that. I really like it. I like the way it sounds, but I mainly just got it for music. So I was just asking a question. Thank you.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Sri.
Okay, I just got one last night, and when I set it up, I got an alert on my phone which gave like 12 most usable tips. I don't know if you got that, but it gave you some information about what it can and can't do.
Okay.
And I got it as soon as I set it up. I got a tip alert on my phone.
Okay. I'm gonna look it up then. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Who'd like to go next? Who hasn't had a chance? Got a question for us all. Any new users out there who haven't had a chance? Any old users, veterans, got a question? Don't be shy. Nobody has a question. I'll have to sing, and we don't want that.
Kathy, I have a question.
Okay, Kathy, you saved us all. Go
Um,
ahead.
see if I can. So last week I asked about using a lot of data on my phone, and through whatever means, I don't know, but my husband, the IT department here, told me that it happened during Zoom calls that a lot of data was used. I think I'm using the right words. I'm not sure. And I wondered, did it have anything to do with? It could be the Wi-Fi just coming in and out. Seems like recently, within the last few months, the Zoom question changes. You know, when you first log in, it used to say, if you want audio, you know, you're supposed to check the audio channel or something. And now it says something about Wi-Fi in data or excuse me, cellular and Wi-Fi. So does that have anything to do with? Seems like that's the only thing there is to choose when you're trying to get your audio going. Am I making any sense at all?
This is Suva.
Go ahead, Suva.
So just to understand the question, you're thinking like maybe Zoom call, you know, when you choose the option cellular and Wi-Fi connection when you're logging in or clicking on our Zoom link, it's taking up way too much data from your plan. Am I understanding the question correctly?
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah. I don't know what kind of cell phone plan you have. From what I understand, a 24-hour continuous Zoom stream uses up about 2 gigabytes of data, depending on the quality of the video streaming. So it doesn't really take that much data. You're just joining in. But if you're hosting the video, yeah, then you have to worry about a lot of bandwidth. Now, my stats may be a little off, so somebody wants to join in, but it should not take easy answer is should not take too much of your data, no more than like, you know, a gigabyte max from just joining in.
This is Keith.
Okay, go ahead, Keith.
One thing you can do, Kathy, is go into Zoom. Don't tap into a link to start a call, but just go into the Zoom app and go to settings at I believe it's at the lower right-hand side, the lower right-hand tab, and swipe through there and you'll see meetings. Tap on that, and then right there at the top there is a button that says automatic automatic audio connect or something like that. And if you tap on that, you can actually select Wi-Fi or cellular. And with that said, when you enter in a call, you don't even have to, that prompt will not even come up. It will auto connect to whatever you select in settings. And I have mine to Wi-Fi, so I never see that alert anymore. It just automatically connects up through Wi-Fi.
Why would you ever want cellular? Would you?
If you're not
Oh,
in
if
the
you're-
Wi-Fi.
Okay, if you're on the road or something and you, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but thank you.
This is Sri.
Yes, go ahead, Sri.
I was just gonna say, if you're doing a video with 1080p, you're using 4 megs every second that it's active. That's what it needs. It needs 4 megs.
Okay, that's interesting information.
I have a question.
Okay.
This is Jim.
Go ahead, Jim.
I have kind of the same kind of question she's talking about. It used to appear on the screen for me, or swiping, it would say internet connection. And I would do that, and I knew I was on the internet. And now it says cellular or Wi-Fi in the same question. And then swipe again, it'll say dial in. Well, obviously, I don't want to dial in. So when I hit the cellular and Wi-Fi, what am I getting, cellular or Wi-Fi?
Okay.
Am I making sense?
I think so.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
I would say if you're connected to Wi-Fi on your device,
Yeah, I am.
It should be
Wi-Fi.
feeding off the Wi-Fi.
Okay. Okay.
Unless you're in a signal area where your Wi-Fi is going up and down, then it may be switching, but it basically follows what your phone is set at.
This is Brad. I'm thinking his question, since it says cellular or Wi-Fi, and then the other choice was
dial in.
Dial in. That's making are you doing this through a phone call or
Yes.
a data connection? And data can either be over cellular or over Wi-Fi.
This is Keith.
Go ahead, Keith.
I just refreshed my memory a little bit. It is setting. The setting does say cellular or Wi-Fi and cellular, and basically let automatic setting I was speaking of. It's just one option, the Wi-Fi and cellular. So in my mind, whatever your phone is set to, if your phone is the Wi-Fi is on, it's going to automatically connect to your Wi-Fi. If your Wi-Fi is off or you're not in the Wi-Fi and you have cellular on, it's going to go to your cellular. Bleh, say that 3 times. Thank you. So it's it's basically whatever your phone is settings are set at, that's what it will use.
Okay. What I'm saying is the command changed in the Zoom app.
Oh yeah, they changed the appearance of this every update, and
they just sounds to me like they just changed the language.
Yeah, it used to say internet connection, and or dial in in. Well, I always hit the internet connection. That way, I knew I was using Wi-Fi.
This is Sri.
Now, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sri.
I'm thinking whether now Zoom is trying to figure out what's a better signal, if it's Wi-Fi or cellular, and it's figuring out if the Wi-Fi is weak, it might switch to cellular. I'm thinking that's probably why they gave us that option.
Well, this is Brad. It sounds to me like it's not asking him to choose. Say it's asking him. The old question was internet or dial in.
Right.
And it's the same thing. It's cellular or Wi-Fi is internet or dial in. So I think that's what the question is how do you want to make this call? A phone call or over the internet? And I think I'm just being clear to some people. Go ahead, Keith.
That's exactly right. I think they just added cellular to that option just to make it clear that if you are not in Wi-Fi, that is a choice, that it will
Right.
use either or you can dial in, so
Awesome.
there's two options.
All right. Let's see. I think Elisa had something. Lisa, do you have follow up on this, or is this a new question? Elisa?
I seen that. I seen this. This is Elisa. Sorry.
Go ahead,
I
Lisa.
seen that same thing that Jim is talking about, and I just choose Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jim. Hopefully we've answered that for you.
I'm sorry, this is Jim again.
Okay.
It's one question. The question says cellular or Wi-Fi. Okay. If I double tap there, it's going to send me wherever that is.
It's going to send you wherever the settings on your phone are set up to go.
The other thing is dial in.
Yeah. Basically, it's asking you, like we said, do you want to connect to Zoom over a phone call or over data, internet data? And then you can connect to the internet either through cellular signal or Wi-Fi. And your phone's
give me a
settings are going to
choice.
determine that.
This is Keith.
Within
Go
the
ahead,
phone.
Keith.
So
It's in the phone.
So right, correct. So in your Zoom app, that it's giving you the option between the cellular or the data usage, like Brad was saying, or a call in. It's just giving you those options. Whichever one you choose, if you choose the Wi-Fi and cellular, it's going to go to whatever your phone settings are set at. If you have Wi-Fi on, it's going to go automatically to your Wi-Fi. If you have your Wi-Fi and cellular on in your phone settings, if you are not in the Wi-Fi or you have a bad Wi-Fi signal, it's going to go over to cellular. If you do not have Wi-Fi on, it's going to automatically go to cellular. But it's just asking you, how do you want to make this Zoom call? And then it will rely on your phone settings at that point.
Okay. Thank you so much. I
All right.
appreciate it.
All right. We got that cleared up. Awesome.
Sort of.
Let's see. Sort of. Well, okay. Let's see.
Nikki has
where
a
are we?
question.
Okay. Hang on. Okay. Nikki, go ahead.
I have tried doing this and it really hasn't worked. So it's probably a simple yes or no answer. But when I go onto a Zoom program and I want to bring somebody with me who is only on the telephone, and I call that person and then I go into Zoom, it doesn't seem to work. I wondered if there's something I could do to make it work, or is it just not possible?
Anybody want to take this one?
Oh, this is Suva.
Go ahead, Suba.
I've been working a lot with Zoom recently. Now, your question is, just to repeat, you're trying to bring somebody along on a Zoom conference call with you?
Right, but on a landline. She's on a landline and I'm going on in Zoom. So if we both go on, if I go on the computer or if I go on my phone and she's on a landline connected to my phone with a conference call, when I go into Zoom, she's not heard. They're not able to hear her. But if we both go in on the phone, then they can hear her.
This is Brian.
Well, go ahead.
Well, the reason is, just like in the last question, how you connect to Zoom. When you open the Zoom app, it's really not designed for a three-way.
Okay.
You can have someone on a telephone call, and then you can do like a conference call where you call a phone number and connect to Zoom that way, where you've made a phone number, and then you type in a meeting ID and a passcode if necessary. And then once you've connected, you then do whatever you do on your phone to get the person who's been on hold onto this call with you. And now you have a three-way call. However, you cannot do that if you're using the Zoom app and you're connecting through an internet connection.
Okay, that's
Okay.
what I thought, because I've tried and I thought I would ask the expert.
Yeah, you can't do it with the Zoom app. You can do it with a phone call, just like
Thank
any
you
other
very much.
three-way phone call.
This is Keith.
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Keith.
And just beware that at that point, if you have somebody piggyback, you will be the only one that has the mute power in Zoom. So if you're unmuted and they're unmuted, of course they're unmuted. If you're muted, it doesn't matter if they're muted or not. They will not be able to unmute themselves on Zoom. So they're at your mercy as far as that goes.
Absolutely.
Actually, though, you know what? I've discovered when I do it that way, that, for example, if just say we're not on Zoom, we're both on the telephone and we're going into like a Well-Connected, which is an organization that does everything on the phone. If the facilitator is on the phone and I mute myself, the person connected with me is not muted.
Three-way
Now
call.
that's with three different phones.
Right, that's a three-way
So
call.
I discovered that by accident one time.
And I believe it is your Well-Connected using Zoom or another service.
Well, they're using Agora, which is
Yeah,
terrible.
so that has nothing to do with because your question was about Zoom. So
No,
it's
right.
separate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Just
separate.
making
And
sure.
this is not on Zoom. This is when a facilitator is also on the telephone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
All right. Well, glad we were able to help. That's not really iOS, but hey, we're glad.
Well,
we
I
can
have an
help.
iPhone. I'm using an iPhone.
That's
on,
true.
Jody had a
It is.
question.
Go ahead, Jody.
No, I was just going to say the same thing Brad said.
Yeah.
When you're doing a three-way, you can't mute. The other person is can't mute and unmute and all that.
Right. Yeah. Thank you all.
All right. We got a couple more minutes. Anybody got a quick question? What do we got?
This is Keith.
Go ahead, Keith.
I have a quick question. I'm just wondering if anybody's having trouble with voiceover. I'm having trouble with voiceover ducking, and my audio ducking is not on. It is off, but it seems like when I get emails in or even text sounds or anything like that, my voiceover warbles and
Says
kind of
Brad.
ducks.
I experienced the same thing and
This
have
is Dan.
experienced it for a while.
This is
Go
Dan.
ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I'm experiencing the same thing also.
Okay, there was somebody else.
Elisa.
Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed that too with Facebook, I think.
All right.
Oh man, I thought it was an excuse to buy a new phone.
No, sorry.
Oh
You'll have
well,
to come
I'll
up with
wait for the
another one.
update. Right, I'll wait for the
All
update.
right.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, that was quick. What do we got? Maybe we got 2 minutes to the halfway
Kathy.
point. Okay, Kathy, go ahead.
I have a silly, my phone says unmute audio. It says unmute audio. And I went through character by character and there is a G after that audio. Good. Is there any way, is that just a thing that I have to live with for the rest of my life? Or is it?
Is this when you're on Zoom?
Yeah. It's just like got a G after audio and
This is Keith.
bugs me.
Go ahead, Keith.
You can try the 2-finger tap and hold, and that allows you to relabel that button. You can go to the text
Oh,
field
wow.
and try to delete that last character and see if that holds. It may
Oh, I've
hold,
never-
it may not, but it's worth a try.
I've never done that before. That's too scary.
This is Shri.
Oh,
This is
go ahead,
Freddie.
Shri.
I was just
No.
going to say, if have you tried to uninstall and reinstall? Because I would assume if that was the case, then we would have all gotten it. And I'm just thinking, I do agree with doing the 2-finger double tap and hold, but I haven't heard it, so I'm wondering whether it needs to be, if you uninstall and reinstall it, it may go away also.
This is Scott. Neither
Go
have
ahead,
I.
Scott.
So I just see it as regular, as just audio, like it normally, like it should be.
Yeah.
no G or anything at the end.
And this
This is
Brad.
Keith.
Go ahead, Keith.
I was just going to say, just make sure you're up to date with your app, and then go through all those others. And if no one else is seeing it, I would think, like everybody else is saying, it's something with your app specifically.
This is Brad. I'll tell you about double tap and hold and renaming a button. That works great until the app updates itself, and then whatever you did is gone. And so Zoom updates itself all the time.
So if I wait, it'll just go away.
It'll well, when it updates, it'll go away.
Okay.
And with that, oh, Keith, hang on. I think we are at the halfway point.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Brad.
So, thank you, Sandhya.
Okay, here we go. Real quick, we're going to give everybody a chance to say hello. If you didn't get to say hello the first time, please say who you are and where you're from.
Sandhya, it's your iBUG Jill. I'm from
Hey
Baytown.
there,
How's it
Shelby.
going?
Welcome. All
Shelby,
right.
yep.
Who else do you got? Glad to have you. Anybody else? Want to say hi?
Jody from New Hampshire.
Jody and who?
Suva from Dallas.
Hey, Suva. Welcome. Glad to have you.
Sonia, you sound far away and
Far
echoey.
away. Thought I was
It's across the room.
I thought I'm not close to it.
You
Y'all
sound like
hear
you're
me?
down the hall.
No.
Close down the hall though.
Oh, sorry.
Nikki's here from San Francisco. I've been asking questions, but I didn't say who I was from. I mean, where I was from.
Oh, we knew.
Who you are. We
All
know
right.
who you are.
All right. Anybody else? Can you hear me now? Hopefully.
Yeah, we hear
Freddie
you. We could
from
hear you
Galveston
before, you just
County.
sounded far away.
Oh, okay. Freddie, welcome, Freddie.
Imelda from Allen, Texas.
All right.
Oh.
Welcome. Anybody else?
Arlene from North Carolina.
Hey, Arlene, welcome back. Anybody else want to say hi? Okay, well, all right. I hope y'all. Okay, so just real quick, I know we said this is a busy week for us. So tomorrow, Clubhouse, 5 o'clock Central Time, or Wednesday, we have Android Insight, all things Android, 7 o'clock Central Time on Zoom. And Thursday, we have Trekkie Talk, 8 o'clock, talking about Discovery Season 1, episodes 13 through 15. Friday, iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. And then we have the weekend off. So, and then if you missed our iBUG Cafe yesterday, where we talked about tracking devices like the AirTags and the tiles, the recording is available on our website as well as on YouTube. The best way to get all the information about everything that is coming up is on the website ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. Now, here we are. We want to know what is going to be happening on Friday evening, iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies, and with the wonderful, inscrutable clues, we have, hopefully, the iBUG guy. iBUG guy, are you there?
Here.
Oh, boy.
All right. Yes, we have iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies at 8 p.m. on Friday. Join us 7:30 p.m. for the pre-movie social, and stick around afterwards for a great time. All right, now we are going to provide clues to what our movie is, like we always do. And just like on the regular call, don't just shout out answers to the title of the movie. Please say your name, wait to be recognized by me, and then we will give you a chance. So let's get started with Michael's movie show. All right, clue number 1. The lead character's performance is curiously moving, considering that by definition, it has no emotional arc. The lead character's performance is curiously moving, considering that by definition, it
This
has
is
no
Keith.
emotional arc. Keith.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Sorry.
Oh.
Try again. Okay, Shelby.
Phenomenon with John Travolta.
Oh, Phenomenon. Yeah, that's a great movie, but that's not what we're watching this week.
This is Shree.
All right, Shree.
Is it The Roper?
The Roper. Never heard of it, but it sounds like a good movie. All right, moving on. Clue number 2. The viewer, that's you, will be as confused as the lead character before the film is over, or even sooner. You will be as confused as the lead character
This is
before the
Steven.
film is over. All right, Steven.
Dazed and confused.
Dazed and confused. Not to be confused with Days of Our Lives. That's not it, what we're watching either. Sorry. Good guess, though.
Yeah.
Kathy,
Kathy.
It's a Beautiful Mind.
Oh, yes. It's a Beautiful Mind. Yeah, it's a great movie. We saw that several months ago.
Oh, yeah.
This is Herbie.
All right, Herbie.
You know, I'm just going to take a wild stab at this, but I'm thinking it's a movie about the clues to the particular movie we're watching, because that's
Yeah,
just
there you
confusing
go.
already.
All right. No.
Was that a I
That
didn't
was
get
a
the
guess.
title.
What was the title?
I guess.
It's called iBUG Clues. That's the name of the movie that we're going to be watching, right?
Okay.
Close.
This is Brad.
Go, Brad.
How about Gaslight?
Gaslight. No, but that's what you've been doing all night long. All right, next.
Yes,
This is
well,
Marty.
true.
This is Marty.
Clue. Next clue.
Oh, Marty's going to take one more guess, and then we'll move on to clue 3.
I haven't taken one yet.
Okay.
All right, you get to take your first guess.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Which one?
Second.
Oh, that was so close, but that's not it either.
What's it? Oh,
All right, moving on. Clue number 3.
that's all. We're only at clue number 3.
The lead character, okay, I'm going to give it away. He has witnessed the violent death of his wife, and he's determined to avenge it.
This is Ned.
I heard Shree, then Ned.
Mad Max?
What?
Mad Max.
Mad Max. Okay, Mad Max. Yeah, that's close, but that's not it either.
Ned.
All right, Ned.
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive. That's what I would have guessed, but that's not what we're watching.
This is Jim.
All right, Jim.
All right, I'm going to say Without Remorse.
Without Remorse. What are you going to say without remorse?
That's
The name of the movie.
Oh, whoa,
I'm going to be
okay.
happy when I say it.
Okay, Without Remorse. I've never seen that one either. Okay, that sounds like a
It's a
good
new
movie,
one.
but
Read
that's
read the book. The book's better.
okay. That's not
Don't
what we're
watch the
watching.
movie.
Somebody else
Any
has
other?
a question.
All right, we're moving
Yeah.
on.
Jody,
Jody, go ahead.
law-abiding citizen.
Law-abiding citizen is not correct either. All right, next clue, 4th clue. He uses a Polaroid camera to help him piece together the facts.
This is Shree.
Shree.
Is it Focus?
Focus is almost not correct. Focus. Okay. Oh, I heard Linda come in just in time. All right. Our 5th and final clue. Looks like I might get to stump you guys this week. The story begins at the end and works its way backwards toward the beginning.
Nikki.
Nikki.
Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button. That was very similar, but no, that's not what we're watching either.
Dana.
Dana.
Sounds like Seinfeld episode.
Sounds like what?
Seinfeld.
A Seinfeld episode.
I think somebody else is
Yeah,
trying
it
to guess.
does, doesn't it?
Freddie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Freddie, go ahead.
The Wall.
The Wall. No, sir. Sorry.
Okay.
That was a great guess.
Just
All right.
tell us.
Anybody else? I hear somebody's.
Billy.
Billy, go ahead.
I think we need to ban Michael from making up the clues. Over.
This is Ned.
These are great clues.
Ned,
Yeah.
Is this an Alfred Hitchcock movie?
No, it's not
Okay.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay, just spare us.
It could be though. All right, we're gonna give it away. I mean, we're gonna say the answer since nobody could get it. All right, the movie we're watching this week is Memento. Big drum roll. Lots of
The crowd
applause.
goes wild.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
I don't have my
So-
sound effects ready.
Like those little mitts.
What's the name of the show?
Memento.
Who stars in that?
We have no idea.
Guy Pearce, the girl from The Matrix.
Oh,
Can't
Carrie
think of her
Moss.
name. Carrie Ann Moss. Yeah,
Okay, move
to name
on.
a few. All right. Well, we didn't have a winner, so we get to keep the prize till next week, Johnny.
I know. Too bad. Somebody lost out on a pretty good prize.
But Memento will totally confuse you. If anybody understands this movie, then you're a better person than me.
Okay. All right. Well, that was beautiful, Mr. McCulloch.
Stump the crowd once. I think this is my second time.
This is Herbie.
Maybe the third time. All right. I think it's time for, would you like to say goodnight, Mr. McCulloch?
Good night, Mr. McCullough.
All right, thank you. All right, we are back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, so we are going to give everybody a chance. People who didn't have a chance the first time around, this is your time to ask a question. New people, old people, whoever wants to ask a question. Lots of people on the call today, so this is for you. You have a question?
This is Freddie.
Ready, let's go for it. What you got?
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I didn't get to make a comment last time. I wanted to say that let's see. I had a problem with my phone. Let's see. Oh, the battery was running down fast,
Okay.
and I just wanted to if anyone else was having that same problem.
Okay, so it's still going on?
Yes,
Okay, so is anybody having issues with their battery? What kind of phone do you have, or how old is your phone? And
it's a SE.
okay, SE. The SE, the original SE, I guess, right?
I think it's from this year.
Oh, 20, SE 2020. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any suggestions for Freddie and his SE 2020?
This is Sri.
Sri, go ahead.
All right, I didn't quite understand the question.
I think he's wondering if there are issues with the phone in particular with the battery life. I think that may be it, or he's noticing that it's running down very quickly.
Yes.
So what could be the cause? Is it just the battery of that phone, or is there something else that we need to be looking at?
This is Eva.
Okay. Sri, did you want to answer that, or
No,
okay, go for it. Go for it, Eva.
I'm thinking.
Okay,
one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing you can look at is your brightness settings and see if you have it all the way. I keep mine on 0 since I can't see it all, and that helps my battery life. And I turn off Bluetooth when I'm not using it.
All right.
Dana.
Dana, what you got?
Another thing you can do is turn on low power mode. That'll save your battery some too.
Okay, thank
This
you.
is Roy.
Roy.
Dad.
Hang on, Dad. Roy.
You can go general to background and refresh and see what's running in the background and turn some of that stuff off, and that'll help with your battery.
All right. Okay.
This is
Thank you,
Keith.
Roy. Hang on, Dan. What you got, Dan?
I'm wondering. It sounds to me like maybe there might be a problem with the battery itself. Maybe he could go into settings and check on the the capacity of the battery, it'll show in the battery settings, again, when he first comes on, what the actual capacity of the battery is when he starts. Because I'm wondering if maybe the battery itself is not really good. It should be good, but if sounds like it's a brand new SE. So I'm just wondering about the actual battery itself, the capacity of the battery.
Great suggestion there, Dan.
This
All
is
right,
Sri.
Yes.
Keith,
Yes.
Keith, and then Sri.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest if you go to settings and then go down to battery, you can go through the list there. And it will show you item by item what is using the battery and by what percent, and see if you can kind of troubleshoot it from there. And I was going to ask, is this a recent happening, or has it happened since we've updated to iOS 14? Because I've noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've noticed it since we've updated 14.6.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say my iPhone 8 seems like the battery has been draining a lot faster since we've been in the 14 update. So that's possibly something that could be as well. But I would definitely go to battery settings and check that list and see if there's something else that is just pulling your battery down. That's obvious.
Okay. Thank you.
This is Jody.
Okay, Sri first, I think.
Yeah, the question that I was going to ask you, are you using an Apple charger or are you using a third-party charger?
I think I may be using a third-party charger.
I would try replacing with an Apple certified charger, because some chargers can cause battery problems, and I would check that.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And Jody?
Yeah, I've got an SE 2020 and I'm not having any battery issues at all. I'm not using an Apple certified. It might be usually when I buy them, I make sure that they're not from Apple, but that it's an Apple compatible one. But I go into my app switcher all the time and, turn off apps I'm not using. And also you might want to check and make sure you have a GPS app running all the time. You can go into location services and make sure that you don't have an app that's using your GPS.
All right, great suggestions there,
This is
Freddie.
Keith.
Yes. Keith?
I was just going to say the good thing about Apple, if it's a cable that's not Apple certified, it will usually give you alert that this cable is not, or this device is not compatible or something like that, and it will not connect to that cable. So even if you have a short in a cable that is an Apple cable or certified, it will give you the same message. So it kind of keeps you from destroying the battery, but you never know. Some of them can slip through, I guess.
This is Sri.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you also need to be careful about the brick too. Not the cable and the brick. So that's my suggestion.
Okay, this is Jim.
Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, I was going to say that I did see reports earlier, and I didn't have a chance to look through them, but people were having battery drain issues with this latest update. And I hadn't heard any resolution about them one way or the other, but you may be one of those few unfortunates that are running across this.
Okay, thanks for sharing that insight, Jim.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, Freddie, we hope that this will help some of those measures. Okay, so try it out and then you can let us know next week if it helped. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Freddie. All right, great question. Okay, who do we have next? Somebody new that hasn't had a turn? Anybody new? Somebody? A type of questions.
See.
This is Sri.
Yes, sir.
I have a question about deleting. I've noticed that when I written something, especially in iMessages, and I hit the delete button, it stops instead of continuous deleting the characters. And I wanted to see if anyone else was having this issue.
So can you clarify? I mean, somebody has
Yeah,
mentioned
so
this
basically-
before. So yeah, how do you do this? Like, what are you trying to do?
So basically, I'm trying to delete the whole message. And if I've asked this, then I apologize.
No, please do, because I never understood how you were doing that. I've always kind of wondered.
So let's say I've written an iMessage to you, Sandhya, and I just went to the end. I did a double tap, move the insertion point at the end, and I just want to delete the whole message.
Okay.
And I double tap and hold the delete button, and it just starts.
Tap and hold the delete. Okay.
It'll start deleting one character, and if you keep holding it, then it'll start speeding up and start deleting more and more, faster and faster.
And is VoiceOver saying like, oh, all the letters that are getting deleted?
Yeah. I mean, it's going so fast, it's just going blah, 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 and then it stops.
Okay.
And then I have to double tap and hold again, and it continues, but it then stops. But it doesn't happen all the time. It's randomly occurring.
Okay. So normally it should just go all the way continuously to the beginning.
That's correct.
Okay, and it's not happening. Okay, well, I have to try this. I've heard you talk about it, but I've never done it. Okay, anybody else having this issue that Sri is having?
This is Brad.
Brad, go ahead.
I am not having the issue, but I'm wondering if you're holding it for a long time, Sri, is it possible that inadvertently you are not continuing to provide full pressure down on the screen? And perhaps you're letting up a little bit and it's causing it to stop?
I don't think so, because it's randomly stopping.
Okay, because that's all I can think of. I use this feature frequently and always have, and I'm not experiencing any new issues with it.
This is Jim.
Okay, Kathy, Keith, and Jim. Kathy?
I have this problem, but it seems like delete is always a hard key for me to hit. I'm usually typing in a bunch of M's or L's, but so I think for me it's just general difficulty. But I know what you mean. I try. My goal is to tap it twice and to have it go all the way back to the beginning, but it doesn't. It seems like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
About this trick, but me. Okay. Oh my goodness, Keith. Is that you?
I was just going to say there's a setting, and I'm going to have to find it, for repeating characters that if you hold down the space bar or the backspace, it will keep deleting until you pull your finger off of it. But I'm wondering if it's turned off, or even if it is turned on, if you turn it on and off and just toggle it and try to reset it. But it's not in regular keyboard, so I'm gonna have to go find it. It might be in accessibility, but I will go find it real quick.
Okay, thank you, Keith. And was that Jim?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I was going to say, sometimes what can happen though when you're doing an extended hold like that, which is really what you're doing. It's like a double tap and hold almost, but you're holding for a lot longer. Sometimes just the tension of keeping your finger there, because I ran into the issue, and that's what I thought it was. It's if you've got a lengthy message and you're just trying to get rid of the whole thing, sometimes your finger does slip. I mean, remember, you're holding on glass and you're holding on to your phone, and sometimes inadvertently your finger's going to move.
Okay, so yeah, it's kind of what Brad was alluding to, but okay.
Yeah.
Keith?
This is Keith.
Yes.
In accessibility settings, if you go down the keyboard, there is a toggle for key repeat, and just make sure that's turned on if you want to hold down the backspace and until you're done, or turn it off, and you can just go character by character. Or in this case, if it's turned on, like I said, I would just toggle it on and off and just see if it corrects itself.
Okay, wow, pretty cool. I want to go try that out after this call. So thank you, Sri. Yeah,
Susan?
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Yes. Excuse me. I'm have a PDF book. I just downloaded. It's on both devices, iPad, iPhone, but I want to use my iPad. And I have the Acrobat, or however you pronounce it. It's free. But I'm wanting to swipe from line to line instead of having the speech keep on reading, because there's things I need to concentrate on and stop and ponder it and swipe again, listen to more. And then when I get to a spot where I want to stop at, I would like to highlight it, say like in yellow or whatever, to save that spot. And also even to copy and paste or print that page. So
what app are you using, or how are you reading this PDF?
Well, on my iPad, I swipe with my, what is it, 2 fingers,
Right,
whatever.
right. But you have a PDF and you downloaded it onto your iPad? Or?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any
so
help for
I-
Susan? She
So I
wants to
don't know
read.
if I need to
This is
buy
Jim.
buy the Acrobat in particular instead of the free one, because I know the ones you buy has
Okay,
more.
well, I think Jim's got a help for you. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay.
Okay, Susan, are you using a particular app to read this PDF document? Because usually that's what you need to do. And for best results, I would suggest you need an OCR that will do a conversion if you want to manipulate that test. Like, for example, if you have the app Voice Stream Reader, which, by the way, won the Apple Award this year. So congratulations to Winston Chen. But that's what I would recommend you use, because that will allow you to go in and start and stop reading that document, highlight it if you want. I don't know whether it will allow you to copy out of it. I'm not sure about that, but you can put different bookmarks into the document.
Oh, wow. Wonderful suggestion
This is
there,
great.
Jim. Okay, hold on. Well, does anybody else have any other suggestions for Susan?
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
I think the app she's talking about, she's using Acrobat.
Yes.
Yes.
Acrobat. Mhm.
And I know that Acrobat has some features where you can highlight a particular portion, but I don't really use it myself. I use kind of like what we've talked about with others suggested, but I just know she's talking about Acrobat.
Acrobat. And is VoiceOver reading it to you, Susan? Or 'cause I don't know
Yes, it is. It just keeps on reading, but I have Voice Dream
Reader
Scanner,
Okay.
whatever it's called.
Well, hold
But
on. So the proper spelling of this app is Voice, VOICE, Dream, DREAM, Reader, READER. So that's the app that, people on this call, we would recommend for you to try to do the things that you want to do. Okay.
But what do you do? Hold the phone over the iPad and let it?
You'd have to import the file into Voice Dream Reader, and then there's various commands that you'd have.
She's thinking about Voice Stream Scanner.
Yeah, it's not Voice Dream Scan.
Yeah.
This is Sri.
Go ahead,
I
Sri.
just don't want to.
It sounds like you already have the PDF on your device, because you said it's a PDF file, so you can just import that PDF to the Voice Stream Reader.
Yeah, I just like to do it without all that stuff. I just thought y'all may know and I'm not pronouncing it again right. Acrobat, whatever.
Acrobat. Okay. Brad?
that I can buy that has the different features. Will it work on?
Hold on. I
iOS
think Brad's
devices?
trying to help you out here. Brad, go ahead.
My experience with Acrobat, and of course I've always used Acrobat Reader on my iPhone. VoiceOver works with it, but it isn't designed for screen reader usage. And it's okay, but the app we're trying to tell you about, Voice Dream Reader, is designed. Actually, when Winston Chen wrote the app, he didn't write it for blind people and screen readers, but he wrote it in such a way that it worked so perfectly with screen reader technology on the iOS that it was just adopted by, I should say, blind and vision impaired people. And once he learned about this use, he didn't write it with that in mind. But once he found out how blind people were using it, everything he has done with this app has just increased its accessibility with VoiceOver. And
Okay.
I think if you don't have it, it's worth buying. It's one of the best apps I've ever purchased. You can
Okay.
run it on your iPad as well as an iPhone.
Okay.
And you can buy it once and I believe use it on both devices.
Okay. How do I import or export?
Well, yeah, I believe you can go to a file and you should have an option to open it.
I mean, do I
once
have to
it's open,
transfer it over to the voice stream reader?
no, you've already,
mean,
well, there's a couple of ways you can do it.
This is Jim.
Okay, just hold on. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, what you can do when you're, I don't know about Acrobat, but I'm guessing it works this way. Down in the corner of the app, there should be a setting that says share, and you'll double tap on that while you're in the document, and then you'll a bunch of things will come up, like message, different contacts, and maybe something said more, tap on that, for example, and then one of the options might be imported into voice stream reader.
Okay, yeah, the book.
And it's just as easy. Yeah. And believe me, it will recognize that. You'll be able to read it so much easier. I can't emphasize that enough.
Okay, I just hope I can go line by line and have
You
control of
can,
it myself.
you can.
Super. Okay, I'll get it after this is over. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
Surely.
it.
Thank you. Okay, who's next? We have a new question from somebody?
Well, I
Moving
just
on.
did Jody with a comment.
Okay.
I just, I wanted to recommend to Sue that if you have the option, I'd buy the whole Voice Dream suite. You have Voice Dream Scanner, Voice Dream Reader, and Voice Dream Writer, and they're all excellent, and they're worth every penny.
All right. Thank you, Jody. All right. Next, who has a new question? Somebody new that hasn't had a turn? Anybody? New questions? New problems?
Jody with a question.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I just noticed this today. I went to a website and I wanted to share it with someone. So I went to share an email and I dictated my, comments at the top. And when I did the two-finger double tap to stop dictate, VoiceOver turned off for a short period of time. And I just noticed this today, and I'm not sure, whether it was because I was in a website that I was sharing or whether it was an email thing. But has anybody noticed VoiceOver turn off when you're temporarily when you're doing emails?
Okay. Anybody having that issue? All kinds of weird stuff happening today, huh? VoiceOver stopping when, so you were you were in the website, sending it as an email, and then it stopped.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was sharing it, and I brought up an email, and I was dictating a comment in the beginning of sending the link, and when I stopped dictating, VoiceOver cut out for a short period of time.
This is Stephen.
I noticed that in emails too.
Okay, Stephen.
Yeah, I haven't so much noticed in an email, but VoiceOver's been a bit cranky with certain things lately. I think especially with this particular update. Usually what works for me is I just turn VoiceOver off and then turn it back on, and it will usually come back to where it's supposed to be.
Right.
I'll lock the screen and then unlock it again.
Oh, sorry, Stephen, were you finished?
No, I was just like, no, just actually turn off. Like, what phone do you have, Jody?
SE 2020.
Okay, so you don't have the home button, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do. So if you do the quick push of the home button 3 times to turn off VoiceOver,
yeah,
and then do it 3 times again to turn it back on.
Okay.
It should clear up your problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Sri, what you got?
I was just going to kind of agree with Stephen. I think at this point I've stopped trying to figure out why VoiceOver is not working, and I just go and try and reset. Like what Stephen said, just reboot the phone, because there's just so many different issues that's causing VoiceOver to stop that I've lost track now.
Yeah, this is Stephen.
Yeah, I'll lock the screen and then unlock it, and it usually comes back.
Well, yeah, I guess you can do that too.
That too.
This is Roy.
All right, Roy.
Jody, real quick, When you're doing the dictation, are you doing the 2-finger double tap or actually activating the dictate button?
I use a 2-finger double tap.
Try using the dictate button. It seems to be more reliable. If you do the single finger
Okay.
double tap on the button by the space bar.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Roy.
This is Stephen.
Steven.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I never used that 2-finger. I seem to have more problems with it doing that. Yeah, the dictate button next to the space bar is much more reliable. I agree.
Steven, you want to explain the distinction between those two?
If let's say you're doing an email, right, Jody? So if you're in email,
I understand. I understand what you mean, but explain it
for everybody, just to show the difference. Okay. Yeah.
If you're in any kind of a text field, whether it's a text message, an email, where you're in a text field, you can do a 2-finger double tap, and it will automatically do the little beep beep for the dictation. However, it does tend to cause problems with voiceover, and it's not quite as reliable. So I would use the actual dictate button that, as Roy pointed out, next to the space bar. If you double tap that, it will do the same thing, but it doesn't seem to get bogged down or have as many problems as if you do the 2-finger double tap.
And the 2-finger double tap is anywhere on the screen as opposed to a single finger double tap on the dictation button, correct?
That is correct.
All right. So yeah, very good.
This is Tree.
Go ahead, Tree.
I was going to say, there's also on the newer phones, the dictation is actually on the bottom right. The older phones have it next to the space bar.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification.
Okay.
And I wish my phone made all those cool sounds like Steven's phone did.
Yeah, that was cool.
I know, he's so cool. All right,
Steven's
okay.
just cooler than the rest of us.
He's so cool. All right, who's next?
Nikki has a question.
Nikki has a question. Go ahead.
Okay, I was trying to send an email today from Accessible World from my phone to one of the CCB members in Bayview chapter, which is across the bay in San Francisco.
Okay.
And I've sent her email before, but what happened was I got a message saying that cannot send mail. The connection to the outgoing server, Apple SMPT, mail Yahoo failed. Now her email address is a Yahoo email address. So I did it again, it didn't work. So there were other people on the line. So I had already sent the same email to them. And so one of them was going to send it to her, and they didn't have any problem with their phone. So I'm wondering, why is it that my phone won't let me send something to a Yahoo address when I'm AT&T, but it's still my account is the Yahoo account. So do you guys have any ideas?
Brad.
It doesn't like you, Nikki.
Yeah.
I know.
No, I don't know. I have. I know you have ATT.
This is Jim.
Yahoo, and so do I, and it just does that sometimes. It's just bugs. I don't know what you want to call it. Goes to the machine, whatever. I would just try it again. It's just something funny with your server. I mean, are you at home? Are you on your Wi-Fi? It's just something in the connection. I've seen that off and on for years, and it just does it. There's no
Okay, but I don't have to go and change anything at the moment.
No, there's nothing. A lot of times I get a thing that's popping up telling me I need to type in my password, or so I just ignore it and close the app, open it again, and it goes away.
Oh, which reminds me, I also got a note from AT&T the other day saying that I had to click on the link because there was a problem with my account.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you
any
guys
of those links.
Right, but one way that people can be sure that it's a scam, aside from that, they don't do that, they phone you. But if you look at the return address, it doesn't say exactly where it came from. It has all these weird things in it. So be real careful, because there are a lot of scams out there now, and they look legitimate, but they're not. Be very, very careful, because once you click on that link, they've got you.
All right. Thank you, Nikki. And I think we had Jim was trying to chime in there. Jim?
Yeah, sometimes servers just, hiccup or whatever. If you were having a constant problem sending and receiving emails, I'd say, that was an issue with your account or your account settings. But it doesn't sound from what you're saying that's the issue. It's just that one time deal.
Yeah, to that one particular person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, sometimes like Brad said, shutting the app down and bringing it back up again will resolve the issue.
All right, thank you, Jim.
Well, when you say shut down the app, does
Shut
that
down
mean
your email app, you know, what app are you using for mail?
Well, I don't have an app. I just I go in through my email through the email icon, and then I pick out the email address I'm using.
Right. That's the Apple email account, right?
Okay, but if I
That's
shut
on your
that
phone.
down, I'm in trouble because then that would eliminate all the email accounts that I have in there.
No, it
right?
won't. No, it won't. You just close it and you restart it.
Reopen it.
How do you close it? I have no idea.
Okay, you flick you go into app settings,
yeah,
and close the app down and just restart it.
This is
Okay. Can you walk me through it? Because otherwise I'll be really messed up here.
Yeah. You
okay, go to
on your phone.
settings.
You've got it. No.
No.
On your iPhone SE, right?
Yeah. No, 8. It's an 8.
Okay, fine. Same thing. Double press the home button 2 times. You'll open the app switcher. There's all the apps you got open. And then you're not using VoiceOver. So just take one on each app, just take one finger and flick up and it'll close that app. And you probably got a ton of them because I bet you never close any apps.
Okay, so we'll
just
close.
flick up. Just flick up. And just one
Oh,
by
I see
one
what
close
you
them
mean.
all.
Oh no, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so
And then go
I'm
back to the
giving
mail
up.
app on the home screen. Tap it and it'll
She
reopen.
flipped out. I think she flicked up and got
Yeah,
lost.
she closed herself out.
Way to go, Brad.
Oh well.
Okay. Okay, and we are gonna. Yeah, we got to stick to voiceover. Okay, go ahead, Dana.
Actually, she needs to flick up with 3 fingers after she.
Well, she's not using VoiceOver.
She's not using voiceover. That's what we got to clarify. So that's the problem. We need to really stick to voiceover. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Sri.
I was just going to explain about, why she got that error message, that I don't want people to think when you're connecting to Yahoo, it's like a straight you and Yahoo directly. You're going through multiple different hops. And one of those hops could have the problem that it says, I can't reach the server. So it could be a multiple things between her and at Yahoo.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm back. I think I flipped up the Zoom link and I got myself disconnected.
She did.
All right. And we are going to have to stick to voiceover, Nikki. So we'll come back to this or we will talk to you offline.
No problem.
Right?
Maybe Brad and I can work this out offline or something.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Who's next? Somebody new? The question?
Elisa.
Elisa, go ahead.
So I noticed that when I'm on Facebook and I'm trying to tag certain members from our group that normally join our groups, it gives me a little checkbox. Has anybody seen that checkbox?
Okay. Anybody can help Elisa with tagging on Facebook?
I know how to do it, but I just find the checkbox really strange.
So you're finding the checkbox, but it's just different?
Yeah, just.
Uh-oh. We lost you, Elisa.
Another one.
Okay. 2-0.
That one's not my fault.
Way to go, Brad. Okay. All right. Well, we'll try to help you out, Lisa, when you come back. Okay. Anybody else? Sorry. Anybody else have a new question? Actually, I have a question if nobody else has a question.
You wonder why people are afraid to ask questions.
Yes. It's the wrong question. You're out of here. Okay. So, when we're on a text thread and there's I'm on multiple texts relating to iBUG and somebody says something brilliant and then everybody else is like, oh, that's awesome. Way to go. They're like acknowledgement or whatever. So then you go back and you look at the message, it says 4 acknowledgements, but you only see the person that was most recent. How come, what if you want to know if which 4 of the 8 really liked what you said and everybody else hated it or whatever? How can you tell? Is there a way?
This is Brad.
Yes, sir.
I don't know of a way. I know it does say that for acknowledgements, and sometimes it might say you and Keith, you liked, Keith liked, and that's it, but it won't tell you the others. But if you're one of them, it'll mention you and it'll mention the last person. But
Right.
it doesn't seem to mention anything else.
Okay.
You're
so
talking
you're
about on
sa-
Facebook, right?
Okay, who's this?
This is Jim. Sorry.
Okay, no, we're talking about on a text thread. On a text
iMessaging.
thread.
Oh.
And it
No,
says
Messages.
4 acknowledgements, but I don't know
Okay.
who on earth those people are. So, okay, so anybody, any thoughts
No,
on
I
that
wish
one?
it did.
This is Keith.
Yeah.
Okay, Keith, go ahead.
I actually went through the same thing this week on our facilitator thread with several people liking it. And it seems like if you do not have speak notifications and catch it when it comes through, when it stacks up, I dug and dug and dug, and there's just nowhere where you can tap on and see. You can see the latest person that liked it or whatever, but everybody else, it's gone for us, I guess.
Very good. Yeah, wonder if there's okay. All right. Well, that's what my question was. I think we have any other final thoughts on that? We're going to move back to Elisa. I think you're back. Are you back? Well, maybe not. Okay. All right. Who has a new question?
Elisa, I'm back.
Okay, there you are. Okay, so your question was that there was a check mark. What was the question again, please? Is it different? That's what you were saying?
Okay, sorry, because my Wi-Fi is acting weird, and I also had a question about the Wi-Fi question, but I cannot tell you.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm noticing it says Keith Pavato, and it says check mark. Is that new or has that been there and I haven't noticed it?
Okay, anybody noticing? So when you're tagging people, is that what you mean?
It gives you like a little check mark. It says Keith Pavato check mark.
Okay, well, I don't know. Anybody know?
And then it has Michael check mark. I'm like, what the heck? Did this change? Because I've never seen this. And
Okay, well, Facebook is constantly updating, so no telling. Any of our Facebook users have anything to chime in about that? Okay.
Right off the top of my head. I don't know.
Okay, that's Jim. Okay, no. He says, okay, so we'll have to check it out. And Lisa, you're gonna have to do
This
some more
is Keith.
research. Keith, go ahead.
It seems if you're creating a new post, those check boxes do not show up. But if you're sharing a post, they do. And I can go check that and I'll let you know. But I think that's the difference. But it seems like it's been around for a while in that configuration.
So that was your question. Has it been around for a while? So it apparently has been around there, Lisa. So, all right, we hope that will help you out. Okay. All right. Who's next? Somebody new? The new issue? Think of all these issues throughout the week. And then now I can't remember them, but what was it? I just remembered it. Any other questions people might be having? Lots of burning.
This is Steven.
Out there. Steven, go ahead.
So I've been a bit busy lately. I just haven't been keeping up. When is iOS 15 supposed to be released?
All right. Anybody have any
That's
thoughts
Brad.
about that? Brad?
This is Jim.
Okay, go ahead, Brad. Hold on, Jim.
Well, they talked about it at WWDC, just like everything else, the fall. That's all they say. Most likely September.
Yeah,
But,
that's what it usually is.
They just introduced iOS and the other stuff at WWDC, and then it's, in that mystery envelope that says coming in the fall.
All right. Thanks, Brad. Jim, you want to add anything to
That
that?
was good. Not really, no. Just that usually it's like the third Tuesday in September. They have a big presentation, and then probably it'll be out a week later or 10 days later. But order your new iPhones now.
Yes.
So that's the best. Just stay tuned to this channel.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know they
Exactly.
usually do the hardware releases in September, and sometimes the iOS comes right after that.
Right.
But you know how Apple, they like to change stuff. So that's what I figured, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be a little sooner or if they were sticking to the usual plan.
Well, great question, Stephen. And who knows? I mean, I know we will be very busy in September when all that good stuff comes out. Okay. All right. Who has a new question?
This is Dee.
Dee, go ahead.
I just want to know, is y'all having fun on Clubhouse without me?
Oh, it's been a blast. Yes.
Okay. Keep enjoying it.
Yeah, it won't be this. It'll never be the same as long as you're not there.
Yeah. Too bad.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's
bad.
y'all's loss.
Too bad. So sad. I'm sorry.
This is Elisa. I
Dana.
gotta say, we need you back. We need you to come on Clubhouse, G.
Right. Okay. All right. Who has? I think somebody held a question. Dana.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
What
we
you
talked about it. We talked about your D
Okay. Yes,
on
we
Clubhouse.
do.
No, I have a question though.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, going back to deleting, but I'm using a Bluetooth keyboard. I used to be able to hold the delete key down on my Bluetooth keyboard when it's paired to my iPhone. And when I went to the end of the text, and when I held the delete key down, it would automatically go back to the beginning of the text or the email, whatever it is. Now I have to tap, you know, the delete key. Is there any way I can fix that?
This is
Again,
Keith.
Keith, I think you
It
have the
sounds
answer.
like maybe in this update that switch got turned off. But if you go into accessibility and go down to keyboard, there is a toggle in there that says repeat key, and just make sure that that is turned on, and you'll be able to hold down your backspace button, and it will go all the way back until you stop pressing the button.
On the Bluetooth keyboard.
Correct. Yeah, I use the Bluetooth keyboard all the time. And the only trouble with having the repeat key on is if you're a heavy typer like me, sometimes you will inadvertently repeat keys. And, if you press down the J too hard, it might put 2 or 3 J's in a row. So that's the only thing you have to be careful with on the Bluetooth keyboard.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
Brad.
Keith. Okay, Brad.
Just keep in mind when you go into accessibility and then keyboards like Keith's talking about, there is a separate section for software keyboard and hardware keyboards. So you may have a setting turned on in one area and not in the other. So in case of the Bluetooth, Dana's Bluetooth keyboard, we want to make sure he goes to the hardware keyboard section to make sure he's got that setting turned on.
This is Keith.
Okay.
All right, Keith.
That repeat key should actually be before the software or the soft keyboard or whatever it's called, and the hardware keyboard. Yeah, it's definitely one at the top. But yeah, definitely check there, and then check the hardware keyboard. Just make sure everything's is set the way you like it. But I believe that's what it is. It just sounds like it must have gotten turned off in this update.
Okay.
Right. Great question, Dana. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who has a new question? I actually have one more question for you guys. Okay. Hearing no new questions. Any new questions?
Elisa.
Okay. Go ahead, Elisa.
So really quickly, because I know we gotta go soon. So we using our Wi-Fi and it keeps on like messing up. Should we call the company, or what do y'all recommend us do?
This is Jim.
Jim.
Yeah, do you own your own router, or do you have it through a cable provider, your cable company?
Elisa?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
We own we have it through the company.
Okay, so it belongs to the company and you rent it, right?
Yeah, and it's been doing that for
It
like a
may
couple
be.
days now with
It
the
may
with
be.
my phone.
here's something to try. Unplug your router for about a minute or two and plug it back in and see if that corrects the problem. If that does not correct the problem, you may need to call them and have them reflash it, and they'll or they may decide, well, you need a new router if you've had this one for a long time.
Okay, very good. I hope that helps. It's very frustrating when
This
your
is
router
Keith.
is not good. Go ahead, Keith.
I was just going to say, if you call them, they'll be able to look at your router from their end and see if it's everything, the signal and everything is okay to that point. And like Jim said, the best thing to do on your side is just to unplug it and plug it back in, and that resets it. And if you do those two things and it's still not working, and probably they will tell you as well, it's time to replace the router.
Okay, thank you. Hope that helps, Elisa. Okay, any other questions?
Now, what's yours?
All right, here's my question. Thank you, Jim. So I was using voice memos, and there's a capability to like you can do a recording and then you hit done, and then I'm assuming that's the final. I kind of discovered this, like there's something called I think it's called card controller, I think, right? And so then you go in there and then you can pause it and resume it. It was pretty cool. So I mean, I was experimenting a little bit with this, but I'm kind of going in circles. But anyway, the main question is, I tried to rename this file that I was creating, and I had a really hard time, and I'm not even sure why. I mean, I went into the edit field, typed the name of the new, it'd say recording number 42 or whatever. So I renamed it, and it never seemed to save it. I never found
This is
a
Sri.
save button. Sri.
Did you hit return on the keyboard?
No.
You got to hit return.
Oh, why didn't you tell me that like 3 days ago? Okay, thank you, Sri. Okay, well, there you go. That's my problem. But
If you don't hit return, it won't save the file name.
Oh, it was driving me crazy. I was swiping everywhere and couldn't figure out how to save it. Okay, very
This
good.
is Brad.
Brad.
Yeah, like she's saying, it probably doesn't say return. It probably says done. And so that's what you're looking for.
Look, there was no done button. I would have hit the done button if I was
A
done.
lot of times they're on the keyboard.
It's on the keyboard.
Yeah, it's on the keyboard.
Keyboard. Okay, I'll have to go try it again. I have multiple fake false starts that I did, so I'll go back and practice. Okay. All right. Well, that answers that. Thank you. Anybody else?
This is Linda.
Linda.
Is this the voice recorder that's on the iPhone? The one
Yeah,
that comes
voice
with it?
memo. Voice memos.
I actually was in that today, and I renamed mine, and it kept all of them, and I did not hit the done or the return button.
So what did you do? You just typed a new name and then it was fine?
Yeah, I deleted what was there, like new record 19. I just deleted that and just typed in my new name, and it kept it.
This is Steven.
Well, I heard Steven?
Yeah, and then Sri. Yeah, the same thing. If you just save it if you type what you're going to type to save it and then go out of the app and you come back in, it'll be there. It should be there. Because there is I've never found a save button.
Yeah, it just stays in the text. It keeps the name of it is still in the edit field. It's not going anywhere.
Right. But the next time I go in the app and I'm looking for it, it's there.
Oh, so I have to close it out and then it'll get out of that text field? Because like right now, the new file name is just says text edit field or something. Okay. Well,
yeah, that's what I usually do.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Sri.
I've lost my train of thought.
This is Keith.
Go ahead, Keith.
I just tried it, and if you just type your new name and then back out of it, it will save it.
Okay.
This is Sri.
You found your thought?
Yeah, I found my thought back.
Go ahead.
I think this is a question I'm asking everyone who's answering this question. Does it have your home address when you're doing this, or does it have a different file name?
Well, this is Sandhya. I took that out because otherwise all of them had my address.
Home address,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm. So now it just says, that's a setting that you can have, like your
Right,
location
right.
when you made the recording. So that can be helpful sometimes, but
Yeah.
but if most of your recordings are at home, it's kind of annoying. So
This is free.
yes.
I just know when I did mine, I hit return and it saved it every time. So, and it saved it while I was on the file.
Okay. Wow. Very
This is
good.
Keith.
Yep.
Just a general tip. Keyboard. If you see a done button at the lower right, if it's expecting you to press the done button and you don't see one at the top right, if you look at the lower right hand side of your keyboard that usually says return, it will say done. But also you can look right above the keyboard. Sometimes there's a done button up there. And I have found if you're in something that wants you to be done with the keyboard and it shows that done button at the lower right hand side and you press done, there is another button under that keyboard that it's a save or something that you're not able to get to unless you hit that done button. So just kind of look around your keyboard and see what it's saying. But in this case, like I said, I just went through there and changed the name and then backed out and it was saved, automatically saved.
Okay, well, thank you guys, and thank you, Brad, for helping me. This brings us to the end of our call, so thanks, Brad, and all of our participants and everybody that helped us out tonight. And just real quick rundown, Clubhouse tomorrow at 5, and Android Insight at 7 on Wednesday, and Trekkie Talk on Thursday, and iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. We're going to be watching that amazing movie called Memento.
Confusion.
Memento.
It's a movie about them little mints.
What? Yeah.
Little mints.
Mentos for
Mementos.
memento.
So please join us for any and all of these events. We'd love to have you, and we're just so glad you're here today. And the recordings are going to be available on YouTube and our website, and you can always get all the information on our upcoming events on iBugtoday.org under the upcoming tab. And with that, we will say good night to you all. So have a great night. Have a great week. Bye. Oh, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Take care, and we will see you next week. Happy Father's Day. All right, bye.
I'm just wondering if you play the movie backwards, will everybody understand it?
I think you will.
I
Good night.
buried
Bye.
Paul.
Bye.
Good